Welcome to the Get Offset podcast. My name is Emily,
My name is Andrew.
and that's it. That's all of us for today. This
Yep.
Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
It's a good week where we get to chill out and just slowly prepare ourselves for the turkey belly.
The turkey belly. I'm going to try to wake up early enough on Thanksgiving that I can go to the 2 hour boxing class and maybe earn some of that turkey before I consume it.
Yeah, I need to see if my gym's open that morning cuz I should also probably at least try,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I'm trying to hold myself to some self-care, but I missed the gym last week entirely because I was on a business trip.
Oh, yeah. You were in San Francisco?
Indeed. Well, sort of. I mean, I got to go into the city one of my evenings after I was done for the day,
Mm-hmm.
but I was in a little town called San Rafael on the north end of things, so a little bit out of the way. But I did get to eat In and Out,
That's
so
all that matters, I suppose. But you're in
that's
San
really all that
Francisco.
matters.
Did you at least get a burrito somewhere?
No, no. So let's see here. I did In and Out one night. I went to Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39 and did the touristy thing.
Yeah.
On the second night and the third night, I got Vietnamese food with a good friend of mine that I haven't seen for a couple of years.
Did you eat at Fisherman's Wharf? Because I mean, there's just a really nice little Italian lunch place just sort of up a slight hill from there. My friend used to live around the corner.
Yeah, no, I ate at Fisherman's Wharf. I did the super bougie touristy thing, and I ate at Boudin's, which is the sourdough place right there on the wharf.
Ooh, nice. How was it?
Uh, it was good. I should have gone with my gut. I didn't get the sourdough soup bowl
Why not?
because the guy I was hanging out with did, and I didn't want to copy his order, but I should have because the fish and chips, like the fish is actually pretty decent, but then it wasn't chips; it was just like little shoestring fries that were kind of sad.
Ah,
I ate like 5 fries
boo.
and I was like, "And I'll just order room service when I get back to the hotel."
No, you need like a real thick French fry, like a steak fry almost. It's my opinion.
Yeah, that wasn't really fish and chips. It was just some fried fish and some fries. It wasn't the
Yeah.
same. But I
Ugh.
mean, it was nice that the weather was clear. We got to see the sunset. It was before heading into the city, we did a hike up to Ridge Battery, which is on the north end of the Golden Gate Bridge, and got
Mhm.
some gorgeous photos. The sun was starting to go down over the Pacific off to the right. We had the Golden Gate in front of us, the city and Alcatraz off to the left. It was just beautiful.
Ugh. I I really wish I had been able to do an Alcatraz tour. I'm just I'm such a true crime buff that I just remember like being a kid and watching the episode of Unsolved Mysteries about whether or not those three men actually escaped from Alcatraz. And I saw it from a distance and but like I feel like every time I'm there, I'm not there to be a tourist. I've been twice, and one time was to hang out with a girlfriend and meet her kid, and then the other time was to see the Hold Steady.
Yeah, I mean, I've been as a kid, and so I did the Alcatraz tour as a kid and whatnot. So part of me wanting to go back to the wharf was just to kind of be like, oh, I was here when I was a kid for a family vacation, and kind of soak in some of those memories.
Yeah,
But
nice.
but yeah, no, overall really good. And if nothing else, I got to eat In and Out. I had a 3x3 animal style whole grilled onion with fries well done and a large Neapolitan shake.
Their fries, I guess you probably have to get them well done because the one time I've had them, I've just thought these are soggy.
So if I get I mean, no matter how you get the fries, one of the keys that people always forget is they put the salt packet on top for you. So they don't come super salty right out of the fryer. They let you decide how much extra salt you want on them. And because I'm a glutton for flavor, I always do the whole salt packet. But
Oh,
you've got it.
Jesus.
That's one of the little things that they do for you that it seems like it's really strange. I think it's rather considerate for people with dietary considerations.
Well,
Personally,
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know.
totally, but like the whole salt packet, Andrew?
Well, it's not a giant salt packet, and there's a lot of fries.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
getting them well done is one of those. It's not on the menu as an option, but every single In and Out you'll ever go to knows that that's an option.
Of course.
So they come out nice and crispy. Uh,
Nice.
almost some of them almost end up like potato chip kind of crispy. It's really
Mm,
tasty. Goes
when I,
really nice with the burger. And yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying all of that food, $11 after tax. I'm sorry, it's incredible fast food.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that, and I'm not gonna argue with you, but I just do want you to know I don't agree.
Okay. Well, moving on. What's new with you? You had a
Uh,
show this week, right?
I had a show last night, and I know that I've played a bunch of shows lately, and most of them I've gone DI with my the Amp by Milkman, and it's just
Right?
been wonderful. But last night I played at an art gallery, and it's not the first show I've played at an art gallery with this amp, but it was one where um like the sound guy was all the way around a corner. It was very weird. It was at the Vera Project, and there was only one monitor, and
Right.
I could not hear myself at all. Like I kept asking the guy, like, "Hey, turn me up, turn me up, turn me up," and he kept like giving me the little thumbs up. And he'd go back around the corner. He'd come back around out front to monitor things. And after the third time of asking to turn me up, I was like, I guess I'm just not going to hear myself. And a couple times since it was again a gallery, I just like kind of walked out in front of the crowd and played the guitar a little bit. And I'm like, well, it does sound good out here, so at least I knew it sounded good. But I just couldn't hear myself to the point where uh, at for one of my songs there's a solo, and normally the drummer just like will keep it going until I look around at him and kind of do like a signal basically for my solo to end. And pretty quickly I was like, I don't feel like solo. I don't want to solo when I can't hear myself. So
Right.
yeah, though it was a good show. It was at the Vera Project, which I like because since it doesn't have a bar, people are more attentive. It's like people are there to see the music and not, to go out.
Just have some live music and have a night out.
Yeah, exactly. So it was
Which
good.
nothing wrong with, but
That was good. We got paid, better than we expected to get paid. Uh,
getting paid.
Other bands on the bill were all quite good. Racoma headlined, and I
Oh,
like them a
fun.
lot. Yeah, they're good people. Sleepy Gonzalez played right after us, and they're also very good and good people. And I forget the name of the fourth band, but I heard them all, and they were all yeah. It was a really strong bill, and I'm glad that people came out. Just wish they'd put us in the big room instead of the art gallery, just because I know the sound is better in the big room.
Well, happens. No, and I definitely sympathize with the whole playing and not being able to hear, because I've had that happen to me before. Not playing directly, I was my amps are in the back room, and I think we were running an radial SGI to get the signal back there. Anyway, so they're in the back room, so I couldn't really hear my amps, and I was playing with in-ear solution only, so no, not even like sound monitors. And for some reason, the my amp channels cut out of the in-ear system, so they're going through the house, but no one could hear them in the in-ears. It was killing
Ugh,
me.
that's
So it
bad.
was like a whole church service. I was playing completely blind. I was like paying extra attention to make sure I didn't kick on the wrong dirt pedal or too many, keeping track of how many stages I had going on because I didn't want to melt people's faces off.
Man, there was
Um,
one point where I turned on the grazer and somehow the volume of my grazer had gotten bumped all the way down. And I played it and
oh
I'm like,
no!
okay, this is one quiet enough part where I should be hearing. And I looked down, I'm like, oh, turn that back up to noon. I was like,
Oh, that always kills me.
yeah, ugh, yeah, no, because it's one of my favorite parts of the whole set is when I get to kick on that grazer by Dwarfcraft Devices.
That's a fun sound.
Yeah, people always come up after shows and compliment that. But another weird thing that happened last night was I was setting up, and since it's a gallery and there's not really like an elevated stage, someone came up to me and he's like asking me about my tuna tone. And as you know, I love talking about my tuna tone, but I was also kind of like, I'm I'm working right now. What are you
Right.
doing? Go.
Well, that's when you just say, "Hey, here's my podcast. You can hear all about it."
No, I was just like, I'll tell you. Let's talk later. Like I'm because I was like trying to like work out the whole monitor situation. Like I was actively like talking to somebody and trying to figure something out, and someone comes up and it's like, "Oh, that's a really cool guitar. Tell me about your guitar." I'm like, "Whoa, let's talk about this later. It's not a great time.
Now's not the
I'm
time.
working." And I don't want to sound uppity and stuff, but like
I don't know. You're sounding pretty snobbish. You're getting too good for the layperson.
too good. No, I like talking to people about the guitar stuff after the show. It's one of my favorite things. Like if somebody wants to come up and talk about the guitars, I totally will. But after when I'm not on the stage and when I'm not making my way to the stage, because then I am working. That's just me.
Well,
That's just me.
overall, I would say that was a pretty solid experience, though.
It was good. It was a good night. Yeah, a lot of fun. I guess we're playing Vera Project again, one of the Mondays in December. Um, if anybody is listening interested. It is the 16th of December. We'll be playing Vera Project in the gallery again. So I'm going to bring a real amp, I think.
Think you're gonna bring one? Gonna crank it?
I just want to hear myself, honestly. Put it back behind the drummer and crank it so that the drummer can hear us because he complained that the only person he could hear, well, he didn't complain, he just said that the only person he could hear the whole show was the bassist whose amp was right next to him.
Ah,
Yeah. Oh well,
well,
you can't win them all.
well, it's a necessary uh thing to risk when going direct.
It really is, and I think it's typically worth the risk. Like again, I know I sounded great out in the crowd. The singer from Racoma came up afterwards because I've been talking about my amp,
Hmm.
the Milkman, with him, and he's like, "You're right, that thing sounds great." I'm like, "Really?" Because I couldn't hear myself at all. He's like, "Yeah, it sounded really good out there." I'm like, "Okay, all right, wonderful. That's great. That's really good to know."
No.
Yeah, yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Alrighty, well, changing gears a little bit today before we get into our topic, we've got sponsors.
That kind of has to go hand in hand with the topic because I'm so thankful for our sponsors.
I see what you did there.
Ah, so yeah, let's talk about sponsors just so people understand. Like I've started doing demos for pedals, and I'd say the bulk of the demos right now are just things I bought on my own money. But there are a few companies that have been gracious enough to send us product to review, and um, instead of getting paid to do these things, it's usually this. Okay, you don't care. But as part of that, I just want to give them shout outs on the podcast to thank them for understanding what we're doing and respecting it and helping us grow that channel in a fun way.
For sure.
That being said, this week want to shout out Old Blood Noise Endeavors.
What?
Uh,
What?
they, they were on the podcast last week. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't want that
And
podcast to end. I was having a blast with those guys.
yeah, I didn't want it to end either. I just had to go. I had to get
No,
dressed. I had to put on that jumpsuit. That takes time. Um,
you left, and then they were still on, and they were talking a little bit, and it's like, hey, by the way, like, I'm a huge fan, guys. Like, I geeked out just a little bit, and then we
aw.
talked back and forth, and then I think they were, I think, I think it was time, and I was overstaying my welcome, and I felt like I wanted the conversation to keep going, but I also like was picking up on the, all right, Andrew, you're overdoing it. Don't be
Mm,
such a goob.
goob. Yeah, you were a
Goob.
bit of a goob.
I was excited. They're rad
That's great.
people,
They're great. And I'm so stoked to try the Menom.
right?
That's their new pedal if y'all haven't been paying attention. So I was already on cue to do a Menom demo. I don't have it yet. I'm really excited to spend time with it once I get it. But they're also going to loan me the Maw, which I think is their microphone audio workstation. Um, I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that. That was specifically requested by a couple of our listeners, including Joe Braga. So Joe
What?
was real sweet, reached out to them and said that she wanted uh, Get Offset to do a demo of the Maw. And she told me that. So then I sent them an email and was like, hey, can I just borrow one for a bit? So
I just
I
want to know
plan.
if the mod can make my voice sound good, because if a unit can do that, I like that. That's no small task.
What if we do a whole episode where we just talk through the mall?
Ooh,
Ooh.
actually, that sounds like fun.
That does sound like fun. Now, I'm going to try it with a couple things. I definitely want to do it with vocals, obviously. I want to try to mic up an acoustic guitar through it because I'm a big Nico Case fan, and something she did that I thought was really cool on her most recent record was they recorded a piano, uh, just an analog piano, mic'd it up, and then put that through a vocoder,
What?
which made a really cool sound. So I'm gonna try that with an acoustic guitar. I want to try it actually miking an amp and putting it through the mall. Same with bass. I definitely want to try it on drums. And I think Sunday Crush is going to try to do like some sort of experimental song slash video using the mall in depth. But I don't want to get ahead of myself on that one. We don't have it yet, so we don't know everything that it can do. But I want to put that thing through the ringer. I want to take it to its most outer limits.
Well, anyways, Emily is very excited about this.
Yes. I'm also excited about our other sponsor.
Ooh, ooh, ooh!
Ooh,
Can I say? Can I say? Can I
ooh.
say?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm really excited about this. We're sponsored by Boss.
Yes. Boss
Talk
effects.
talk about legendary
Legendary. And they sent
legend.
us
Wait for it. Comes from
here.
Macau. Dairy.
Here. Legendary. Yeah,
Yep.
so they sent me their new looper slash rhythm workstation, and I spent a little bit of time with it, and I love it. It's stereo. You love that. It's compact. I love that. It has a ton of different drum sounds in it. It's smart. It's intuitive. You can save like 99 to 100 things in it. And it's like to just take it out of the box and start using it was easier than I expected. I did read a lot of the instructions before I sat down with it, as one needs to do with um, digital things with screens. But I thought it was pretty like it just works like a looper, and then there's just so much more that you can do with it.
It's so cool. It's Aaron Abubo approved.
Uh, oh, Aaron, I hope you're listening.
It's a rad unit. From everything I can see, and I can't wait to steal that,
You
because
just
at
want
some
to
point
steal
I'm gonna
all my stuff.
stuff. Yeah. No, but in
Yeah.
all seriousness though, huge shout out to Boss slash Roland. You guys are. I mean, I don't even have to say this, but you guys are incredibly legendary. If
Hmm.
somehow by some crazy coincidence you haven't played a Boss pedal, just go out and grab one. They're buy one used, buy one new. Just put your hands on, because they've made some of the most legendary effects that have built up what the industry is today. And if nothing else, it's just good to know what those sounds are and where we all came from. I mean, I'm
Uh,
turning around looking at my board right now, and I've got three boss units on my board right now,
my cat loves boss units because she loves licking the rubber on them.
and I've got one more on my shelf that isn't currently hooked up to anything, but it should be.
Yeah, I don't officially have a boss pedal on my board right now. I'm hoping to get their modulation station, and if I do, that's definitely going to be a mainstay. I can already tell.
Nice.
Nice. I just have to figure out how MIDI works.
I mean, it's not that hard, right?
I bought some MIDI controller for I ordered it for for the Eventide H9.
Uh huh.
If for nothing else so that I can scroll bank up and down.
I hear Jedi are really good with MIDI, specifically MIDI chlorians.
Oh, I don't even know what that means and I don't care. I just made at
I
least two people
apologize for
unsubscribe.
nothing.
I just made two people
I
unsubscribe by not knowing what that means.
good. Use your anger.
Good. I
I
know
can
that.
feel your anger growing.
I've seen all of the official movies that have been released in theaters. I think. Yes, I have. I just have not watched any of the shows or anything like that. And I won't because I don't plan on buying Disney Plus.
Well, suit yourself. I have been watching The Mandalorian, and I am halfway through watching The Resistance right now, and I've already seen all released episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels, and I'm anxiously waiting for season 7 of Clone Wars to see that series finished out.
Season 7? There's 7 seasons of that? We're getting farther away from it. We should get back on track.
I'm just saying, Star Wars and Disney Plus. I mean,
Are you
uh,
thankful for it?
I'm very thankful for it.
I bet.
I'm thankful for a lot of things this week,
Yeah,
which fittingly enough is Thanksgiving week,
it is Thanksgiving week.
which here in America has an interesting history, which I'll
A
choose not to
troubled
get into.
history. A troubled history,
Yeah,
indeed.
it's just we're not going to get into that. We're just going to choose to sit here and we're going to be thankful for uh, the things around us.
Yeah,
So
I'll take it as a day to both be thankful for what we have and also a day to maybe look back and promise to be better humans as white people and settlers than the people who came before us.
we're getting off track. We're getting off track.
I know you got to go off track a little bit, and I got to go off track, and now I guess we're gonna pull it back around, pull it back around, support Native people, pull it back around, and thankfulness.
All right. So in prep for this episode, here's what we're going to choose to talk about being thankful for to try and keep this focus. Because the reality is we could go on and on and on and on and on about all of the particular people, things, stuff and things that we're all grateful for. And I think we're going to keep this a little bit more narrowed down. So I think we should choose one brand, one artist, and one product that we're thankful for. Is there anything else we should like? One more category we should throw in there? Should we keep to the three
I think so you said one brand, one product,
and one
one
artist?
artist. Should we do one human? Or would that
Uh,
fall under brand?
I was thinking that'd probably fall under either brand or artist,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I want to
but
do one human.
you know,
I want to add one human
okay,
or one group of humans.
okay.
I know. I just am thankful for a lot of things, Andrew. And you can't.
I know. Well,
It's like
so
asking
am
me to pick
I.
my top record of the decade. I won't do it. Where
Well,
do you want to start?
oh, we should also be.
Do you want to start
We should be
alphabetically?
thankful for one cat,
Oh, I'm so thankful for Princess Carrie Fisher. She
and
is
I'm so
thankful.
thankful for Poppy. Percy's been kind of a butt lately, but
Oh, Percy.
Poppy's been really adorable and has been extra snuggly lately. So it's been nice to wake up with Poppy being all
Yeah.
snuggly.
So do you want to should we go alphabetically?
Uh,
I don't think I want to start with
sure. Let's start with
I don't know if I want to Oh,
artist.
okay. Woof, that's going to be
We're
hard.
going for it.
You go first.
All right, I'll go
Don't
first.
say Kanye.
So I was about to just to mess with you, but that's not really who I'm
I called that. I
thankful
knew
for
you
this
would
year.
do it.
You know, I thought about it. So Nickelback, no. Um, in all seriousness, I've talked about this band a handful of time on the podcast, and I've seen them in concert twice this year. I think the more and more I keep coming back to them and their lyrics and the sorts of things that they're willing to stand for, and I'm incredibly thankful for the lyrics. I'm thankful for the music itself, which is absolutely brutal and incredible, and as well as for the people in that band who are all just outstanding humans. I'm gonna go with Silent Planet.
Yeah, your buddies.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Silent Planet is a metalcore band out of the Los Angeles area, and they center their lyrics on themes of discussing various injustices, and I think it's super rad. So they look at it from a really empathetic, humane perspective. So everything from looking at how we treat our veterans who come from home from war to looking at how we talk about mental health to even looking back at historical injustices, whether it be the use of atomic weapons in World War II or the way that we've historically treated Native Americans in the U.S. I mean, and that's just to jump on a couple. They jump across so many different topics, and I think they do it so incredibly well. Where they don't go at it from a stance of condemning certain things, but more of a we're speaking some life into the stories of certain things and saying, hold on a second, what's going on here?
Mhm.
And they're willing to question the status quo. And I think that if that's not metal, I don't know what is. But also more importantly, if we're not okay with talking about these things, then what are we doing? And then mega props to them for being willing to step out and uh, to jump for these topics.
Mhm. That's nice.
So if you haven't listened to them, go check them out. If you don't like metal, if you don't like screaming and distortion, all of that, I'll choose to forgive you because it's Thanksgiving. But seriously, go Google their lyrics. I'm not even kidding. It's straight up poetry. Garrett is a lyrical genius, and the way that he tackles some of these stories and these topics is uh, will make you cry just reading through them, but also leave you reflecting on these sorts of things. So
Mhm. Nice, that's nice. So I know that you had time to prepare and I did not. Um, so I've just been kind of sitting here thinking, uh, which artist slash band I would want to pick. Um, and like I really want to say Big Thief because just I think the best band out there right now. But I think if I look back at the albums that have and the performers that I've been able to share more with loved ones and have kind of brought me together with loved ones and just like have made me personally feel very seen and also just want to have a good time is Charlie Bliss. They released a record this year called Young Enough that I think is just a wonderful and criminally underlooked record. Um, Lyrically, I think it's very strong and um, daring. It's fronted by a woman named Eva Hendricks, and it's not every day that you see such a young performer um, interested in talking about every kind of issue from uh, the pains of growing up to being an overperformer, things that I relate to a lot. He just yeah to talking about like birth control in songs and abusive relationships and just it seems like nothing's off limits for them to talk about, and then the melodies are great, the band is tight, it's just really wonderful, beautiful, fun arrangements. And that's a band that Rick really turned my husband Rick really turned me on to. They released Young Enough, which I think is funny. They released on my 30th birthday, uh, which is fitting. And he got really into them. He took it's this thing that we could share. He took me to see them, and then that was the show where like my cousin just I hadn't seen her in 4 years. She just showed up in Seattle to go to my show, and she was in town with a friend who was a big Charlie Bliss fan. So all of us went to the show together. It was just so lovely to be able to spend a lot more time with this person that I grew up always feeling close to, but geographically kind of far apart. She moved to Albuquerque when we were very young, so we didn't really get to grow up together. But so we're so close in age that it was just so nice to spend so much time with her. So yeah, for kind of very personal reasons, I'm gonna go with Charlie Bliss as an artist that I'm just so have been so thankful for this year, and just continuously find myself being drawn to their music.
alrighty.
I mean, how many? I'm sorry, how many like sub 25-year-old women are singing about like conception? None of them. None of them.
Inconceivable.
But it's something that yeah, like you're young and you're, a woman and you're young and you're having sex and you're thinking about it because it's like always kind of there, whether or not you're on birth control. And so just to hear somebody talk about it, um, just openly is wild and really refreshing.
You keep using that word.
Which word?
in
Oh,
Contagion.
oh,
I'm now on a
I
I'm on a Princess Bride track now. I'm
do
sorry.
you even know the name of the actor who says that line?
And the character is Inigo
The
Montoya.
actor.
What?
Ah, ah.
Mandy Patinkin.
Yes, he's got such a lovely singing voice. He's got a
Really?
Tony. He was the first person to I forget what they call this. He debuted the role of Che Guevara and Evita on Broadway.
Well, I take back my favorite artist. No, I'm
It's
just
always
kidding.
Mindy Patinkin, evergreen content.
There's just no running out there. All right, so we've talked about
Yes.
artist, brand. It's your turn to go first.
I am
Go.
this is gonna sound so weird because he's a friend. Uh, Gun Street Wiring is a brand that I'm very thankful for this year, um, and just in general in the past 24 hours. uh, I,
There's a story here. I can tell.
well, I was turned on to Sean's company, Gun Street Wiring, through 60 Cycle Hum when I was building my first Mustang. At first, I was like, I'm going to do all this wiring myself. I'm going to wire up the switches. I can do this. I can do this. I failed so hard and I was upset. I was like, I can't do this. Like, why do I, and I was just like, had that thought in my head, like, why do I ever think I can do anything? And so I reached out to Sean and I said, "Hey, how much would it cost to wire up some Mustang switches?" And he asked all kinds of questions, made sure it was exactly what I needed, charged me a very reasonable rate, got it. Like it turned into like 30 minutes later, I had a working guitar, and it was magic. And I've reached out to them for other things. He did a wiring harness for when I got the cremas on my offset special, the Jazzmaster size cremas, because it required different valued potentiometers than I'd had in the guitar. So he sent me a wiring kit for that. Again, stupid easy. And this weekend he had sent me I did those Fender I'm sorry, Squire Starcaster demo, the demo of my Squire Starcaster. Um
Right.
People had asked about like doing upgrades and things, and one person in particular wanted to hear what it sounded like with upgraded wiring. So I reached out to Sean, and of course, he came through as the gentleman and the scholar that he is. Uh, First, he sent me just a simple upgraded thing. He was, very honest. Like Squire does pretty good stuff, but he's just thought the value of the pots was wrong on the tone. So he sent me
Hmm.
something. And at the same time, he had sent me a few months ago a wiring kit for that $25 guitar, that Mustang body and Bronco neck. He had sent me that, and I finally got around to wiring that up yesterday. And Mustang, just instead of it being like 30 points of soldering, it was three. And like, it was the point where like I, I messed up by not like I messed up on my own. Well, I didn't really mess up. I just couldn't fit all of the wiring from so okay, I'll talk about later. So even having to do it twice took me 45 minutes tops. Having to like just completely redo it because of my own fault. And then I went on to do the Squire Starcaster, and I was having it was just a mess. It was a complete mess. Um, and like I was not it wasn't working, and I was reaching out to Sean, and he was so responsive and just talking me through it. Like I was just like I'm just screwing up, and he just kind of was just encouraging to me, and together we figured out what the issue was, and now it's great. And it just like that level of helpfulness, I think not everybody would do that. And I'm not sure I would have the patience to be as helpful as he is. And yeah, I just can't say enough good things about, Sean and Gun Street Wiring, and how that he and his brand have so elevated my confidence to do my own work on my own guitars, which it just feels really good when you go in and you can do it without having to, slink on over to trading musician or whatever and paying somebody else 85 bucks an hour to do something that, would take 30 minutes because yeah, you can do it. And that's just yeah, uh, I'm rambling at this point, but thank you, Sean, and thank you, Gun Street Wiring. Uh, I was not paid to say this.
Rock on.
Your turn.
My turn. Oh man. So where do I go with this? Shoot. So part of me really wants to say Earthquaker devices because they've been so rad to me over the years, and I think I'm going to keep them as an honorable mention for looking back recently. Not because of anything they did or did not do. Just I think I want to take this moment to shout out Spruce Effects.
Yay, Brian!
Yes, Brian has been super awesome to us this year with the build of the Mount Hood and that whole project. And yeah, incredibly thankful for everything he's done for the podcast. And I mean, now that I'm already on multiple folks, I'm gonna have to jump to one more, and I'm gonna have to say Sinusoid
Oh, yes, totally.
and all the affiliate
Sinusoid
brands.
Squatch Covenant, absolutely.
Y'all have been incredibly rad to me in the last, particularly the last 6 months or so, and been incredibly grateful to have partnered with you and to see what the future is going to have for any future partnerships and just kind of how that relationship goes. So I've been super excited for this, and I think it's been particularly on a personal, really cool to have some friends in the industry that are local other than Emily.
Oh,
Uh, yeah, not to get like too gushy or anything, but it's been really neat to feel you guys pull me in as one of your own so quickly, and yeah, I really really appreciated that. So to Andy and the gang, thank you so much, and looking forward to the upcoming years. Since I don't think any of us are going anywhere anytime
yeah,
soon.
I hope not. All right, so which one was
All
next?
right. I think we're down to our last one, which is going to be product,
No, I thought we were doing
which is,
person.
I guess that would be alphabetically correct. All right. Well, that was your call, so you get to go first for person because I barely held it together without getting too mushy and sniffly for that last one.
I think that we should promise to not say each other because I think that should be a given. In the industry,
Speak for yourself.
well, this is about to get awkward then because I'm going to say Ryan Burke from 60 Cycle Hum. Yeah,
Aw.
Ryan has just been really supportive of us in the podcast, and so is Steve. So I really feel like I should mention Steve. But I've talked with I talked with Ryan a
Steve.
lot more this year as I, kind of got up the the balls, I guess, to do demos and kind of talking through my process with him and his process and what he's found to work and getting advice from him. Um, yeah, I just think that's a really nice thing. And that's he's just a really really good person, and I'm thankful for Ryan and also Steve, but for this the sake of the demo channel, thankful for Ryan.
All right. All right. Um. Well, here's where I get to. Man, I thought I was done with being all gushy, but here goes. I'm gonna for my person. I'm gonna have to say Aaron Abubo, and that
Aaron
may come as a shock to some
from the
because I'm
Gear Slum to people who don't know.
yeah. Gear Slum is a great podcast. You should listen to them, especially if you're not offended easily. Um.
Even if you are, I think you should listen to
I
them. I
really
don't
yeah.
think they're not offensive. They just have dry
No,
senses of humor.
agreed. So I no I and I only say that just because I like to snipe at Aaron a little bit on the interwebs and have a little bit of fun. But the reality is, and I swear that this isn't a joke, because there's been an ongoing joke of Aaron being someone's mentor through some online Facebook mentorship program forum shenanigans that have happened in the last year. But in all seriousness, though, Aaron's actually reached out to me on a handful of occasions and actually been a really great resource for some personal stuff. And without getting into too much detail on that, Aaron is truly one of the kindest guys in the industry, among all the podcasters, I think. And his kindness and his willingness to listen and to be there to talk through some stuff has been super rad. And I'm really hoping, and still sorting out some details, but I'm really hoping to be able to finally meet him in person for at NAM. So
I thought we weren't going
yeah,
to talk about that.
no, I'm not getting my hopes up yet. I'm just, for the sake of seeing Aaron, I really hope I can make it up there. And
Yeah.
yeah, no, not to let the cat out of the bag too much, but he's actually pretty solid dude, and
No,
I'm incredibly thankful for him.
he's one of my favorite, gear podcasters, not to offend all the other gear podcasters. But I like to joke with him that I can't tell if he likes me or hates me.
Well, I will neither confirm nor deny that because I know the answer.
Hates. That tells me everything I need to know. That's why
No.
doesn't anybody like me? It's just kindergarten all over again. Ouch. All right.
Man, I so far I'm holding it together. I haven't cried yet. I've only gotten slightly sniffly at one point, and I'll let you guys listen back to figure out when that was, but I'm not gonna admit to it because you know.
Was it when I said I wasn't going to pick you as the person I'm thankful for?
Uh, Definitely not. But you know.
But I'm
All right.
chick. Product. You first.
All right, now we're finally to the part where I don't have to worry about getting too sniffly. Um Shoot, product. Well, I can't say Fox Cairo because that's my product. That would be pretty narcissistic.
It
Um and
would.
I can't say Mount Hood because that would also be narcissistic.
This was your idea and you didn't have something lined up?
This is the one I've had a hard time choosing on. So here's what I'm going to go with because it's a product, but there's also been a lot of people looped in with it. But it's not a product that I've made, and that's been the current incarnation of my trade in trade up game that I've been playing on and off this year. Right now, I've got a Analog Man modded DD5, which I've been playing quite a bit, and I'm starting to get to the point where I think I'm ready to trade it up. So if anyone's interested in an Analog Man modded DD5, it's modded for Kill Dry. Let me know if you want to trade something. So the original premise of the game we started back probably what 6 months ago now. It feels like,
Um,
and
it was probably in February or March, wasn't
oh
it?
wow, yeah,
The Coma
it's
Guitar
been a while.
Festival.
Anyway, so we started back then. I started with a an Electro Harmonics Nano Muff, I think is what it was, and it's a pedal that brand new. I think is $40, and there's been a whole bunch of folks that have been involved in trades on that. Too many for me to list out, but shout out to everybody on that. And I think that's got to be the product I'm most thankful for because that's been a fun little project to play the trading game and see how far I can get with it. So I think I'm ready to take another step in that game. So yeah, like I said, if anyone's interested, I slide in my DMs and let's talk because I'm ready for something new.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I was googling to see when the Tacoma episode was. Oh, that was April. That was just
The
back
whole
in
year is
April.
melded together.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like it's usually earlier in the year,
Okay, so
but
yeah,
I
still a
might
little bit
just be
more than that.
mistaken. Yeah.
Cool.
So product, I've just had a lot of. Oh yeah, never mind. This is easy. My Tunatone. Yeah, I'm so thankful for that guitar and that whole experience because mostly because of the experience. I mean, it's a fantastic instrument, and I have played maybe 2 gigs without it since I've gotten that guitar. And one was because I didn't want to fly with it, and the other one was because I just gotten the new guitar and wanted to take it through the ringer a little bit. But and not just for the guitar, which I've had since June, but for the relationship I've gotten to develop with the builder Layla City up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I think Layla is just one of the best humans um, building guitars right now, and it's not like there isn't any competition. There's a lot of it. Just the attention that she pays to both building the instrument and making sure that you're getting what you want in the instrument, and her willingness to listen and she's just always trying to learn more and improve things. And just put out something that she's really proud of, and she tolerates and I'll say seems to like me sending her pictures of me playing um, the guitar because I try to take one at I try to send her one from every show if I can, and so I've just been I love that guitar.
Aw.
As you know, I'm very excited and always happy to talk about that guitar, except when I'm sound checking. But it's I just feel very lucky to have been able to strike up this friendship with her, um in no small part thanks to the internet and the Instagram and uh excellent events like the Vancouver Guitar Festival, um which is a guitar festival that I think proves that intentional inclusion and intentional diversity can make a really wonderful event and bring a lot of very cool people together.
Alrighty. I think we've spent a lot of time gushing.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what thankfulness is all about, in my opinion.
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And there's so many people to gush about. So, I mean, if you weren't the people included here, I hope you don't take offense. But yeah, you had time to think about this, and I did not. So
I
everything
had
that I said was
time.
very off the cuff.
Um, I guess.
It was your idea.
I guess that's fair.
I'm also thankful for you, Andrew, and I'm thankful to all of our listeners and this fun little community we've been able to build up over the past year and some change. Yeah, I'm thankful for everyone who listens and leaves a review, except for the people who in rating on the podcast on iTunes, except for the two people who left 2-star
No,
reviews
I'm
and the two
thankful for
people who
them
left one
too.
star
You know, it
reviews.
really made me think.
The other,
You know?
the, I well, when they just leave 1 star and
Oh yeah,
don't say
yeah.
anything else, like I don't really know
No, no,
what to
I
do with
think
that
I
other
think the
than they
standing
don't
rule
like
is feel free to
us.
be as negative as you want as long as it's constructive. So tell me how terrible I am, but then tell me why I'm terrible.
Yes, I'm very thankful. Yes, I'm very thankful to the other 45 people who
Got 45
reviewed the
reviews?
podcast. I like the first. I'll even be
Dang.
49. 45 of them are 3 stars or above. I like the one. I am thankful for the one person who said that we uh come off like two junior high kids who play in a cover band rambling on about very little when they ampersand pound 39 semicolon re not talking about cats. They're offering their opinions on gear, blah 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 blah, and things that they know very little about. They ampersand pound sign 39 semicolon re, probably nice enough people for all of that. L ampersand pound 39 semicolon LL go 2 stars. Sorry for my review. Couldn't ampersand pound 39 semicolon T be nicer, but there is nothing here of any value for me. That was a 2 star
Nope, it
review
happens.
too. All right. I'm just joking. Obviously, something was happening with their keyboard.
Alrighty, well,
Ah,
um, I hope everyone
amazing.
has an incredible Thanksgiving. I hope it is spent well with friends and family, and hopefully those conversations go well.
Yes, hopefully not too much unwelcome political talk at your Thanksgiving table. Hopefully no yelling.
Certainly no yelling.
Hopefully just hope it's just good times, good vibes only.
Good vibes mandatory.
Until next time, I've been Emily.
I'm Andrew.
One, two,
Goodbye.
three.